The initial corruption of the Chaos God Slaanesh is a beautiful and wonderful experience, which is why so many within the Imperium of Man fall victim to the god of pleasure's caring and sensual touch. Slaanesh turns the mundane, backbreaking life of a regular Imperial citizen into a new and unbridled flush of sensation. Every aspect of this new life under the guidance of Slaanesh is filled with wonder. As the corruption spreads from one person to a small cult to eventually an entire planetary population, the needs and desires of the corrupted slowly increases until they require the most extreme sensations to feel the smallest burst of pleasure. It is this unchecked reward response that leads Slaaneshi worshippers down a dangerous path into sadistic murder and degrading acts of hedonism. But while the outcome is depraved and regretful, the journey there is one of the most beautiful and incredible things any human will ever experience. And that's the true allure of a Slaaneshi cult. Ask yourself, do I want to live a mediocre and forgettable life, or do I want the most exceptional and pleasurable existence possible, to the point where even death itself will become the pinnacle of pleasure? All across the stars, Slaaneshi worshippers take the plunge into the pool of ecstasy that is Slaanesh. They drink from the forbidden elixir of their patron god, and they struggle to hold back the urge to seek out greater and greater pleasures. Some get lucky and find their own real-world bodies are the limiting factor. These are the worshippers that Slaanesh will enjoy teasing for the rest of their lives. Such is the case for the flesh shapers of Melancholia. And with that said, I want to welcome you guys back to another 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host, Gershwan, and today we're going to be talking about a Slaanesh cult known as the Flesh Shapers. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day, so if you have any questions about the world or have any suggestions for videos, comment down in the comment section below. And if you guys enjoy our content, don't forget to hit the like button, share this with your friends, and we have a Patreon. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. It's just $1 a month. But with all that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Flesh Shapers of Melancholia. Melancholia is a bleak and miserable world within the inner ring of the Screaming Vortex. The wretched occupants of this dismal orb subsist in a state of constant misery. It's unknown if the population of Melancholia is a mixed match of races who landed on the corrupted planet as an accident, or if they are the doomed souls of the human population that once inhabited the planet. Either way, the world belongs to the Prince of Pleasure now, as warp energies travel freely across the ash wastes. What makes this planet such a bizarre domain of Slaanesh is that it is deprived of the wonder and excitement of his gifts, and yet its worshippers burn with a desire that rivals that of any Slaaneshi cult. Among the inhabitants of the world live the Flesh Shapers, so named for their mysterious power to mold and warp flesh as easily as a potter might shape soft clay. These individuals occasionally escape their dreary existence in the fabled chariots of their god, and are notoriously reluctant to speak of the reason for their selection. Those who ascend quickly find themselves adrift in a sea of irreversible temptations and unimaginable access within the realm of the vortex. Soon their long-repressed urges and emotions overwhelm them, and the Flesh Shapers begin to indulge in the many cravings long denied to them. These devious heretics finally indulge in the intoxicating whispers of Slaanesh. They become mad ritualists and surgeons who use their talents to pursue the insane indulgences and hedonistic tendencies long denied to them on Melancholia. Such fantasies are so extreme that the Flesh Shapers' most common hindrance in their endeavor is their own physical and sensory capabilities. Their physical limitations fill these heretics with self-loathing and contempt, causing them to turn their strange powers of manipulation and surgical skills inward in an effort to rid themselves of such restrictions. This quest for enhancement is a Flesh Shaper's chief obsession, and his every action is bent towards crafting a physique perfectly suited for unceasing self-indulgence. Flesh Shapers are highly skilled in the medical arts, and much of their knowledge results from the experimentations of their own bodies. They gleefully spend hours testing, teasing, and stimulating exposed tissue in an unending quest for as yet undiscovered ways of producing indescribable sensations. Flesh Shapers target their sensory organs, trying the best they can to increase the amount of stimulation that can be absorbed. Eyes are split in order to fracture visual perception and take in multiple fields of vision at once. New eardrums are created in places that can catch sound from all levels of the human body. Tongues are also spliced and grafted onto random locations in order to get multiple sources of taste. Although many of these alterations seem truly bizarre to the normal person, the sensory indulgence of the Flesh Shapers is overwhelmed as their mind struggles to keep up with all of the stimulation. They become callous to pain and perform many surgeries themselves so they can fully experience and enjoy the transformation enacted on their forms. Such alterations frequently become gruesome addictions, and many flesh shapers insensely alter themselves just to experience the exquisite pain of their work. However, a flesh shaper's search for perfection is ultimately fruitless, as his twisted imagination continually contrives new and terrifying indulgences and alterations, and thus many die or go mad from their extreme obsession. All flesh shapers manifest the disturbing ability to radically modify their flesh and the flesh of others via the profane art of flesh crafting. This power is unique amongst the many phenomenons within the vortex, and its origins remains an intriguing mystery to those who pursue such blasphemous studies. This is why many flesh shapers seek out Slaanesh to expand their knowledge, and they constantly seek new spells and techniques to further alter their misshapen forms. Other flesh shapers instead seek out the fallen servants of the Omnissiah for their knowledge of cybernetics and the intricate surgeries required to incorporate such devices into their own physiques. Many eventually alter their sensory inputs of such modifications themselves, twisting them in insane heights and linking nerves and synapses in reckless and unintended ways. What makes this cult so dangerous and disturbing is its tendency to capture and experiment upon those they encounter. These wretched creations are referred to as sculptolites, and they serve as a whimpering canvas upon which to perfect new forms and alterations, or as playthings to be offered up to Slaanesh's whim. They are gibbering, wretched beasts mentally shattered from the innumerable horrors suffered at their master's hands, and many do not even survive the shock of their own first torture. But it's important to note that flesh shapers are entirely focused on their own sensations, and such servants are ultimately disposable. Above all, flesh shapers envy the power of Slaanesh and his demonic servants have over their physical forms, and their ability to fulfill their deranged desires. As such, demonhood is an inspiration for every flesh shaper, and they eagerly venerate the Dark Prince in the hopes of attaining one of his blasphemous gifts. Those were 40 facts on the flesh shapers of Melancholia. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I challenge you guys to create your own homebrewed lore on whatever cultist unit you guys have for your warband or your army. If you guys field these guys, I'm not saying you have to kit bash, but it would be nice to create your own thematic type of cult mentality that your cultists have. Even though they're probably just there to die, but it'd be fun. If you guys have any suggestions for any other topics of 40K, please comment down below. I'm going to be covering other cultists from different gods in the near future, so subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and thanks for listening, guys. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate signing out.